Hello and welcome to Versus Mode. This is where we take 3 different games and put them head to head against each other to see which one comes out on top. Now today we're going to be doing Hitman games and we're going to be putting World of Assassination versus Blood Money versus Absolution. Now I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on these games, so if you've got anything to write down or what your ratings are, then note it down in the comments and let's begin this video. So we'll begin with Hitman Blood Money, and how we're going to do this is take an iconic beginning mission from each and showcase the features in each game. We'll also be playing these games on the easiest difficulty possible, which is why I imagine most beginners would either play on easy or normal. We'll also show you the setups, as Hitman missions are normally based on targets. For that, we require the right equipment, so the setup is an important part of each of these games. In Hitman Blood Money, you get given a description of the target, an image of what they look like, and you also get to choose the weapons that you want to take with you. This is handy because you can review as much information as you like before beginning the mission. Now, game development back from 2006 was limited to the amount of characters you could have in a game, also the size of the map itself. So the game did as best as it could with the map size and the characters on screen at any one point. But what you have here is a mission set in a location that you have to learn about the world and the location and the target that you're trying to take out. One thing that really defined Hitman back then from other games was the ability to learn about your target, the route they travel, and then when everything fails, or if you do fail, is to restart, replay the mission all over again, but just having more knowledge about your target. This game also has a suspicious meter that goes up the more people suspect you, which allows for you to know when to step out of an area, if you're in a trespassing zone, or if it's safe to do the assassination to take out the target. The meter will raise from green, yellow, which is fine, you might just be in an area that you're not supposed to be in, but if a guard spots you doing something like, let's say, lockpicking, it will go all the way up to red, and they will start shooting at you. Now, you may have just noticed that I'm wearing a different outfit. That's because in Hitman games, they allow you to change outfit to disguise yourself as someone else. You can either find these outfits just laying around, or you can take out someone and steal theirs instead. Now, there's lots of different things you can do to interact with the world around you. For example, you can break utility boxes, lockpick, you can even go up and down elevators, and you've even got a map to view everything around you, which comes in very handy within this game. However, you can't actually locate targets on the map. You have to find where they are and actually locate them yourself. Once all complete and you've taken down both your targets, you'll need to make your way towards an exit. And what I found really inventive about after you've completed a mission on this game is you'll see how well you've actually performed depending on the newspaper article you would read afterwards. I mean, you also got paid a ton of money, but apart from that, yeah, that's Hitman Blood Money, and that's a Hitman mission in total from that game. Now let's move on to Absolution. Now, Absolution had big crowds. It introduced big crowds and even introduced a new vision mode, which was a nice way of spotting your target through walls. However, there were certain things that didn't cross over to this game. It removed maps, so you would have to actually walk about the area to learn about them. If you wanted to know if an area had an upstairs or a downstairs, you would have to go there yourself to know if an area had an upstairs. But the story of this game is you are a runaway agent, so that makes sense. You wouldn't have all the details. The suspicion meter was also changed. For example, you could get someone's suit, but if you stood too close to a police officer while wearing a police disguise, all the cops would be suspicious of you while wearing it. Using vision mode would stop this from happening, but you had a meter of how much you were allowed to use this. However, the downfall of this game is it had contract missions that worked well, but then it also included linear missions as well, which turned into a getting from A to B type missions. As much as they were fun, it just wasn't what the Blood Money players were used to. For most of us these days, Hitman is a game where you are given a mission and a target to take out in an open world environment. and that's it. You decide how to go about it. It's completely optional on what you do. But this game was all about getting from one point to another, and there were some missions that were about just taking out targets in an open area, but it wasn't every other mission. There was a lot of missions that were based around from getting to A to B. For me, Hitman World of Assassinations included the good parts of both Blood Money and Absolution. It added those big crowds with maps that you could view everything around. It added certain people that would be suspicious of you, but this time it wouldn't be all of them. It would be indicated by white dots above their heads. Targets would show up on maps, and also through vision mode. You could choose what equipment you wanted to take. You could even choose what entry point you wanted to enter in from. Hitman World of Assassinations was my favourite because they included all the best parts of Blood Money and Absolution. And as a bonus, this time round, it introduced a method called stories, which were different stories to follow along. Totally optional, you didn't have to do it, but it was to take out targets in a certain way.
Your Excellency Sheikh Al-Ghazali. Miss Margolis invites you to join her in her office.
So you could literally, if you wanted to, bring down the whole house if you wanted. And you know what? I did. This game for me was the best in the bunch, and I thank that there were 3 games of this with loads and loads of missions. And on top of that, it didn't have those linear missions that Absolution had. This game is incredible and I love it. But I want to hear from you. Did you like this video, by the way? If you did, please don't forget to hit a like on the video. But don't forget to write a comment down and tell me which one of these games was your favorite. For me, it's this game here, and if I have to place the other 2 in an order, I'd say Blood Money, then Absolution. But what's your order? You tell me which games that you enjoyed out of these 3 games. Anyway, I will see you on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye and farewell. See you later.